Thank you for joining us today at Wrestlestop. My name is Joe. This is
Jeff, acknowledging my tribal chief.
Jeff, acknowledging his tribal chief. Today, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble 2026.
Yes, sir.
And
just finished about 5 minutes ago.
Just finished about 5 minutes ago. And what we think about it. Roll the thing and let's get into it. All right, we're back. So Royal Rumble 2026 just ended just a couple minutes ago. I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. I don't know how it's going to do, but hey, I wanted to get it out quick to get our thoughts out there. So overall, personally, you know what? I don't care what I thought personally. Jeff, I want to know what you thought about it.
I thought it was a great event. I enjoyed all 4 matches. There were some botches early in the women's match, but overall it was a good match. I was, relatively happy with the outcome and some of the young stars that had a big showing. The Gunther and AJ Styles match was good. The Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre match was good, even though predictable. And then the men's match I thought was, one of the better Royal Rumbles I've seen. I think I get suckered in every year. I love these matches. There's just people coming and going. They added on to existing storylines. They started some new storylines. There was just a lot going on in the entire match.
Yeah, I thought it was a little predictable. Like, yeah, I know you mentioned predictable, but I feel like a lot of it was a little too predictable. Gunther winning.
I didn't think that was predictable at all, but
Roman Reigns winning, Liv Morgan winning. Who won the other one? What was the other match?
Drew McIntyre just destroying
Drew McIntyre winning. I feel like the matches were very predictable. I did find the show entertaining though.
Yeah.
Right. I was enjoying it.
You know why it's predictable? You've just been around me and my great picks.
Is that what it is? Maybe it's that. It could be. It could be that. I don't know. But let's get into it. Okay. So, match number 1.
Yes, we had the women's Royal
Rumble match.
Yes.
What'd you think?
It was okay. It was a good match. Like I said, there were some botches. We complain about any time the women's matches have a large amount of people, and you can tell that what's scripted is scripted, and there's just not as much. They're not as good as hiding the scripting or choreographing than the men are. But the match itself was good. They started off with Alexa and Charlotte, which is the minute Charlotte came out, my immediate response was Alexa's number 2.
You did say that.
They've been building toward that. They played around the crowd for a while. Are we going to turn on each other? Are we not? Eventually Charlotte did they're going to build up that Charlotte accidentally eliminated Alexa while she was eliminating somebody else. I can't remember exactly who it was, but
I don't remember.
They played up that they really gave some young people a showing. Lash Legend had a bit of a showing.
Sol
Ruka sold out
like a beast.
Yeah. So she had
future star.
Yeah, she looked like
honestly agree or think that she is a future star.
I'm looking for them to do with her in the next year what they did for Roxanne Perez after she was out there for an hour last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, she came out there. She did her flip stunner, whatever she calls it. I'm drawing a blank, but she did that a couple times, and we both were just like shocked. So overall, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. There was some weird stuff like. I'll have to go back and remember who the actual wrestlers were. I think it was
Kiana
Alexa
James?
Bliss?
James and Alexa Bliss. Well, I know Alexa Bliss was in it. She had somebody outside the ring.
Yeah, and the person punched her, and then Alexa Bliss was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to fall," and then
5 seconds later,
5 seconds after the punch, Alexa Bliss hit the floor.
That was really early in the match too.
Yeah, it felt really awkward. I don't know why the women's matches choreography is so weird. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, as a whole, I did find the match entertaining. I wish Kiana James went a little farther. Obviously, I wish Julia went a little farther. It is what it is. I wish they had better showings, but Liv Morgan winning, I did pick that.
Yeah, breaking up the Judgment Day. She eliminated Raquel Rodriguez.
She did.
So we thought, a couple weeks ago, we mentioned that would probably happen because the men haven't been around. Finn Balor appears to either be going off on his own, whether he's going to go off on his own as a heel or he's going to have the well-predicted, face turn. We don't know where they're going. But yeah, the Judgment Day has been breaking up since Dom and JD got injured. And there's been infighting in that group for the last year or so anyway. So
and we'll talk about a little bit about Finn Balor later for the men's Royal Rumble. But yeah, I think the match, if I had to grade it, which we're getting into for 2.0, by the way, you're going to have to grade matches, but I'd give it a B. I thought it was okay. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was okay. I think there was some goofy spots in it, but overall, I think the women's Royal Rumble was pretty good. I think the right person won. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. They said they're setting up that, they're going to set up something with Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
They set up all kinds of storylines going forward. It was an enjoyable match. I don't like giving letter grades. I like to give thumbs up or thumbs downs. I'll give it a nice solid thumbs up.
You're going to have to start giving grades, my guy.
The Royal Rumble, I think, is of all the matches out there, has the highest floor.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble matches, just due to the nature of the match and the unpredictability of who's coming next. Even this match was half full felt like NXT women. I wasn't sure who they were.
Yeah.
But it was still an entertaining match. So,
who wasn't there, though?
Who wasn't
Blake
there?
Monroe.
Blake Monroe.
How Blake Monroe was not part of that match, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm calling Triple H.
Call him, telling him, hey, we're helping with the new landscape. Our landscape should match your landscape. Let's go.
When Becky Lynch starts saying Sports Illustrated calls her number one.
Bleacher Report
calls her number.
Wrestlestop
calls her like number 3.
Number
but
1.
You know what? It's fine.
It's all good.
She'll eventually, we're going to be part of that.
All right.
And I'm waiting for it. All right. Next match. What do we got?
Next match we had, I think it was clearly the surprise of the night. I know you said thought it was kind of predictable, but I don't think anybody expected AJ Styles to lose tonight. Or I don't know. I know it's been predicted. It's been on the internet. Gunther versus AJ Styles. That was the match. AJ Styles has to retire when he lost. When he lost, I'm guessing now he's retiring from WWE. He's going to continue the phenomenal tour elsewhere.
Right, with AEW or TNA or NXT even. Yeah. I don't know if I thought it was predictable, but I feel like they were leaning way too hard, right? Talking about AJ Styles' next opponents and all of these things. And it just felt like they were trying too hard to swerve people to make it think that he was going to win this match.
Yeah, I think they were trying to offset the whole Shinsuke storyline that came out earlier this week. I guess he put something on Instagram or whatever that AJ Styles told him it was going to be his last WWE match and he was going to retire.
Yeah, but there's something else with that too, is he went to put his gloves down and then pulled them back up and put them back on before he left. So maybe...
Is that his way of telling the fans, well, hey, I may be done in WWE. I'm not hanging the gloves up yet. I was thinking about that as the night went on.
I mean, it could be.
Or is he going to renege?
Be saying that he's not retiring, right? Yeah. Maybe they're going to do something about a couple, like, was it last week, the week before, when he tapped out to Gunther, or when Gunther tapped out, but didn't, and maybe they're going to say, hey, this happened, I want one more match, or whatever. But yeah. I hope it's not the end of AJ Styles. I really do, because I like him. I think he's great. But he did lose tonight.
Yeah.
And in theory, he should retire from WWE.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be some angle where, Gunther kept yelling at the ref, ref, check on him, ref, check on him, ref. I thought there was going to be one time Gunther would take the ref and throw him at AJ Styles when he was laying down to go check on him, and the ref would call that as a disqualification
DQ or something. Yeah.
And there would be a cheap way that AJ Styles didn't necessarily win or lose, but he got to continue his career, and they would continue that rivalry going forward. So
yeah, so I don't know what's coming as of right now. AJ Styles is retired. I would like to see him not retired in WWE. I really don't want to see him go to schlub AEW, because, God, I tried watching AEW so many times. I watched it this past week just because I like Tommaso Ciampa, and he appeared in AEW. It's just like, it's like if we recorded a show in my backyard. right? It just seems so.
It's like Wrestlestop 1.0 compared to
It's
the
like
upcoming
Wrestlestop
2.0.
It's like Wrestlestop. You know, I was going through our Wrestlestop videos, Jeff.
We were awful.
How bad we were at the very beginning. We're not great now by any means. I'm not saying that we are. However, we are better than we were when we first started. And that's what I feel like AEW is compared to WWE, right? They're just not good. I don't know. I've tried watching it. I really have. I like some of the wrestlers. I do. I think, I like John Moxley. I like, and now I can add Tommaso Ciampa and, there's other ones. I can add Ethan Page, right? Not Ethan Page. Hangman Page.
Oh, there you go.
I can add those guys to that list. I like those guys. I would, I like watching them. I think they're good, but it's like the production value of AEW is just so, it's like Bush League compared to what WWE is. So I don't know why people would want to go there other than they know if they leave WWE and go to AEW, they're going to immediately have a chance to be a champion because everybody else is not.
Isn't Ricochet the champion over there right now?
Exactly.
After he left WWE?
Ricochet's a champion over there. And I did like Ricochet. I think he was a good wrestler. I still think he's a good wrestler.
He's not champion.
He's not a champion level material. It's kind of like, if I had to like compare it with something, maybe like UFC in Bellator. Do you remember Bellator?
I'm not a big MMA guy or UFC
guy. A lot of UFC guys would wrestle and they would lose and like, well, I'm leaving and going to Bellator, and then they would win. Yeah. But then they would come back to UFC and just get smoked, right? Because your top people, the best of the best are in one area. And then you have people who are just good, but they're not the best of the best in another one. And then once they rise to the top of the OK brand, they're still mid-tier in the other one, right? And that's kind of how I feel for some of these guys. I mean,
understandable.
I'm not a wrestler, clearly. All these guys would whoop my ass, but I just feel that's how I kind of feel. I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, next,
sorry, I don't know where I went with that.
It's all good.
That was my tangent.
You got it in there. The last thing I was going to say about AJ Styles is not only did it seem like odd, like you said, he started to take his gloves off and put him in the ring, and then he put him back on. I expected more from the locker room if this was a true retirement.
Yeah,
but none of the men from the locker room came out and celebrated. And maybe they were staying in character because of the upcoming Royal Rumble, and they really couldn't see each other. But you'd think at this point they would put characters aside and come out and pay respects to what I've seen or heard as one of the most respected men in the locker room.
Yeah, and you even said he's not on the level of like John Cena, but they shouldn't. But I disagree with that. I think he is in that sense, on the same level as John Cena, right? Because
I'm just as a fan interest, he's not quite as big as John Cena.
Yeah, probably not. But I think in the world of wrestling, in the locker room and stuff, I do think he is that big. I think he's probably, a lot of people talk about like who would you put on your Mount Rushmore and stuff. AJ Styles would be on a lot of those. I don't know if he'd be on mine or if he'd be on yours.
I think a good way to describe it is in CM Punk has used this term to describe himself, but your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
I think you could say a lot of people would say that about AJ Styles.
Yeah. AJ Styles he was a beast. Even now he's still good. He's older, but I'd still put him up against any of the younger guys and he could have a great match. So I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like there's a hook here that we missed and they're going to, they'll show, well, here's a video in the past that shows why he's still isn't retired or something. Yeah. I feel like there's something coming.
Didn't he have an angle a couple years ago on SmackDown, AJ Styles or somebody where he faked the retirement and then he didn't end up retiring? I'd have to look that up. We're not going to go down that tangent right now.
I don't know. I had to look that up. But
alrighty.
I feel like AJ Styles leaving is a bad move right now. He leaving at WrestleMania. If he lost to Gunther at WrestleMania in a retirement match, understandable. Yeah. I just don't feel like this was the time.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it felt weird.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, next up we had Sami Zayn won the tournament to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Heavyweight Championship or Universal Undisputed, whatever they're calling it now. Yeah. But it was pretty much a beatdown.
Yeah,
as if you
it was
expected.
kind of a beating, and which is how it should have been. I almost am mad that it didn't end quicker, because I think Drew McIntyre needed just a quick squash match against a mid to upper tier guy like Sami Zayn. I think that would have elevated Drew McIntyre a little more.
They played up the underdog, the heart,
Mm-hmm.
the underdog wrestler with full of heart. He kept kicking out, like he had like 2 moves like the whole match.
Yeah.
And he got a surprise Huluva kicks in. He got the one Blue Thunder Bomb, and Drew McIntyre just kind of shrugged him off.
Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre going into WrestleMania this year is the right move.
Yeah.
As a champion, whether he wins or not at WrestleMania, we'll discuss that later. But I think right now that is the right move. I don't think Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania as the champion would have sold tickets, right? I feel like in certain areas, Sami Zayn is popular. Obviously, Saudi Arabia and Montreal and stuff like that. He's very popular, but I don't think he's the popular pick to be a champion.
If and when he has, because I think he will eventually have one of the titles for a short run. I think he's over with the crowd, and I think it would be a big pop when he wins.
Yeah,
he'll win it at a WrestleMania or at a SummerSlam at one of these big events, and then he'll carry it through a couple of the smaller shows, and then he'll drop it, like kind of like Jey Uso's run last year.
Yeah, I could see that, but who's he going to beat to get it, right? I mean, is he going to beat Drew McIntyre? Because I feel like whoever he beats to get it is going to lower that person's standard, right? I really do. I think Drew McIntyre has been kind of buried for the last year, where he should have been champion for a long time ago. But he finally gets it, and then he loses to Sami Zayn. I think hurts Drew McIntyre more than it helps Sami Zayn.
Did it hurt Gunther to lose the belt to Jey Uso?
Yes, I think it did.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they took him off the air.
The fans still chant, "You tapped out."
Yeah, I know he had like nose surgery or something like that, which was the real reason he was off TV for a long time. But I feel like that hurt Gunther more than it helped Jey Uso. Yes.
Yeah, I maybe he'll never win it. I could see something, maybe not a Drew McIntyre, but that somebody has the belt and Sami Zayn comes in, and maybe it is Drew McIntyre that, hey, I've beat you 12, 13 times in a row now. I'm going to take this match lightly. And Sami gets a Huluva kick out of nowhere, or rolls up and gets a surprise pin, holds the belt for a couple weeks, and then he comes back and he gets destroyed.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe he just never wins it.
I'm more along the lines of hopefully he never wins it.
Yeah, there we go. I would not have a problem with that.
He should Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship. Good. Yeah. Give that to Sami Zayn. The heavyweight or the U.S. heavyweight or whatever they call it, the WWE heavyweight.
Yeah,
he has no business with those.
Alrighty. Well, and then last up, we have the men's Royal Rumble to talk about.
We have a lot. We have a lot to talk about.
Number one, first on SmackDown yesterday, the international showing of SmackDown, it looked like it was leaked that Braun Breaker was going to be number one. Yes. I don't know if that was an actual leak or if that was AI or some mocked up thing. I never saw anywhere if that was an actual leak or what was going on.
Go ahead.
Everybody went into today thinking Braun Breaker was going to be number one, or at least I was like, well, let's find out what happened today. And then this morning at some pre-show event, Paul Heyman got into a shouting match with Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman was upset that not that Braun Breaker was number one, but that Braun Breaker was number two, which is pretty much the exact same thing. So maybe that was WWE trying to cover the slip up.
That's what I feel it was. I feel it was them like trying to course correct real quick just to try to throw everybody, oh, that was just a mistake. That means nothing. He's actually number two.
But it's an interesting storyline because Paul Heyman thinks he's being messed with, that this was intentional by Adam Pearce. And he kind of threatened him. I don't know his exact words, but you're going to pay for this. So I think we're going to hear more from the mysterious man on the phone.
That we didn't hear anything about tonight.
Yes.
Which I thought we would.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
You could argue that he's not on site in Riyadh because he didn't know that he thought he had Adam Pearce under control. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So, your boy Obafemi ended up coming down number one.
Obafemi,
which I know you were happy with.
I did. I was very happy with Obafemi coming down, and he had a good showing. I forget who eliminated him.
I don't remember. Yeah. See, he went a good.
It might have been like Roman Reigns or like it was a big name guy.
But before we get there, I'm sorry, real quick. But we were looking forward to a matchup between Obafemi and Braun Breaker, and then Braun Breaker got attacked by another hooded masked man outside the ring before the match even started.
Yeah, someone without a beard, because I was thinking it was going to be Austin Theory.
You predicted Austin Theory turning on Braun Breaker during the match.
Yeah.
And then we thought we saw the mask and the hood. We thought maybe it's Austin Theory before the match.
He didn't have a beard.
But it did not appear to have facial hair in the hole around the mouth. So we'll have to double check that and watch a replay or so.
Yeah, which eliminates Theory, but it also, more importantly, probably eliminates Seth Rollins.
It eliminates anybody in the Vision. All the Vision guys have. So yeah, I'd be curious to find out. Maybe it was Rio or Bravo hiding. They put another mask on.
No, I don't think it was either one of them.
But no, the match started and Obafemi got his run. It didn't go quite as long as we thought. We thought they might tease it out to be him to eliminate 10, 11, 12 people, kind of getting close to Brock Lesnar's record.
Brock Lesnar coming
and then eliminating introducing Lesnar as a showdown.
Yeah.
But they kind of stopped him with another young man.
They did tease it, though. They did tease Lesnar and Obafemi a couple times, but they never...
They never
let
really
it happen.
Lesnar suplexed him at one point.
Yeah.
Obafemi, I think, threw him and clotheslined him another point. But it was another large young man who stopped Obafemi's run. Is your boy Hobbs or Roy? What do they call him?
Powerhouse Hobbs. Royce Keys.
Royce Keys now.
Keys. Yeah.
So
yeah, Royce Keys I think will be great for that part of that bigger, heavier guys.
Yeah.
Like the Brock Lesnar's, Obafemi's, stuff like that. Just another beast of a guy. Hopefully he does well. AEW transfer over. Hopefully he does good. I don't know. He had a good showing in the Royal Rumble. So
after that came out, they stopped Obafemi's run. They had some back and forth with another young wrestler. Javon Evans came out and had a good showing.
Looked good.
And then the match was proceeding, and then I was happy to see El Grande Americano come out, who was my heart pick to win. And then, he wrestled a bit. And then the original El Grande Americano, which had me looking just like both ways. And they did the Spider-Man meme in the ring.
I thought it was great.
I think this will be an upcoming rivalry between the two of them because they end up eliminating each other.
I think it's going to be quick, though.
I think it's going to be quick because maybe in AAA.
I know you don't believe this, but I think they want to push Chad Gable onto bigger and better things. I think they want to get him past this El Grande thing. Hang on.
I don't get it.
I think this is going to be a quick match, a quick rivalry, and then Chad Gable. Unless they're going to have Chad Gable pulling double duty. I don't know. But Chad Gable deserves better than this.
We almost found out who the original El Grande Americano was.
Chad Gable.
I can't say it. El Grande Americano number 2, Dose.
You didn't put your thing on.
Almost pulled off his mask in the middle of the match. And that caused them both to get eliminated.
You didn't put your thing on.
It's for Wrestlestop 2.0.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Okay. Wrestlestop 2.0 coming soon.
So, other than that, they saved a lot of the heavyweights to the end of the match. Well, Cody Rhodes kind of came out in the middle.
That was a weird one. I thought that was strange. Yeah.
Gunther came out number 30. I was thinking that might be AJ Styles.
That was kind of we talked about that. AJ Styles losing, but didn't want to give up his gloves, and then entering into the Royal Rumble, then coming out in 30, and then winning, and then he couldn't retire. I don't know.
I can't retire if I have to wrestle at WrestleMania. So I thought that might be it, but instead it was Gunther.
Yeah, it was Gunther.
And then he went back and forth, and then ended up Gunther versus Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And for a minute, I honestly thought Gunther was going to win, and they were going to use Roman as another legend where he didn't necessarily lose a match to Gunther. Mm-hmm. But if Gunther eliminated him, that would just prop Gunther up that much more.
Right.
But no, my tribal chief won, raised the fist, raised the hand, number 1, acknowledge him, and goes on to WrestleMania to pick who he wants to fight. And I think I would give 101 odds that he's going to pick CM Punk.
Yeah, I'm going to go that route too. I do think he's going to go after CM Punk. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that ending.
I know you were disappointed. It was funny. Joe picked 3 different. He originally picked Braun Breaker to win, and Braun Breaker lost pretty early. Then he had a couple of his other wannabe picks or his heart picks or whatever. And then late in the match, he's like, I need to pick somebody new to root for. And he's like, do you think LA Knight could win this? And I was like, yeah, I think they could win it.
And then they eliminated him immediately.
5 seconds later. And then a little bit later, he's like, everybody Joe picked ended up after that got eliminated within 5 seconds.
As soon as I picked them, they were gone literally within the next 5 seconds. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be picking wrestlers. I don't know. I'm sorry to LA Knight. If you watch this, I apologize. I didn't mean to pick you to win because I'm probably the reason you lost.
Yeah. So, but again, they're building rivalries. As Cody as he was hanging onto the ropes. Drew McIntyre came out, claymored him in the side of the head, and eliminated Cody from the match. That was pretty cool. Roman came out right after Jay. Jay had just rolled his music back in the middle of Royal Rumble, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then Roman comes out and asked him to do it again.
And then
Jay went to do it again, and he smoked him. So that's going to build up some sort of a rivalry, at least like a talking that Roman going to Jay and saying, I told you to cut off this nonsense. You got to take this stuff more seriously. So I think they're building a storyline there. There was Fatu and Roman, Fatu and Cody, Fatu and LA Knight. You know,
I thought Fatu was going to last longer. He
wasn't in there very
late,
long,
and then he got eliminated pretty quick. But
he's a big guy. He may not have the stamina for that kind of match.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So, but no, again, I thought it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. My kids were disappointed that there weren't any big returns. They can't tell me who they expected, but you know, their very first Royal Rumble was when 22, I think, or whatever. Brock Lesnar came out. He hadn't been in wrestling for a while, and he came out right at the end. And they were stoked for his return.
So he came back here. He hasn't been on wrestling for like 3 years or something.
But they've already seen him come back, so I guess it's not a big deal. I don't know. They can't tell me who they expected to come back, but they were disappointed that nobody big came back. So they're kids, they just want the adrenaline rush, even though they don't know who they want.
I did enjoy the teases of Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. I did like that with them staring at each other from the corners, and then someone would interfere and kind of change that. It kind of leads to
I can definitely see that a match at WrestleMania.
Maybe that's going to happen.
SummerSlam. Yeah.
So I do think Obafemi is definitely a future champion, at least, right? In WWE.
Yep.
He's just a monster. That guy's a beast. He has the look. He has the sound. Like his music, the crowd loves him. I think he's definitely there.
Alrighty. Any last minute thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think if I had to give the whole show a grade, I'd give it a B+. I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know if I'd give it an A because none of my people won, but I did like that Obafemi went far, even though I didn't pick him. No Joe Hendry, which I thought was strange.
That
Joe
might have been an even bigger shock than Gunther winning and retiring AJ.
There was a couple of people that I expected to be there that weren't there. No Chris Jericho. Joe Hendry,
no Finn Balor interference.
Finn Balor. I really thought because Rey Mysterio got hurt, I thought Finn Balor was gonna no, Finn Balor has a beard, so he couldn't even been the mascot.
Yeah, unless he shaved it.
Unless he shaved it. Yeah.
Going back to the Prince, did he have a beard when he was the Prince?
I don't know how to remember. I don't know.
A long time ago.
So I don't know, but yeah, I think overall Royal Rumble for me is probably one of my favorite ones.
Yes.
I do enjoy the other big four. I do like WrestleMania. I do like Survivor Series. I do like SummerSlam, but Royal Rumble is probably one of my personal favorites.
Favorite match, which leads it to be my favorite event of the year because it's just the day flew by. Like just
there's
every 90
something
seconds,
happening.
there's always something.
Yeah, there's always something rather than just people wrestling for 30 minutes, right?
And they use the match to not only set up, a champion or a challenge at Royal Rumble, or I'm sorry, at WrestleMania, but they, as you talked about, they're setting up a bunch of storylines for the road to WrestleMania. Yeah. And that's really what you want out of this. And you saw a lot of stuff building.
Yeah. So good on that. Overall, good event. I liked it. One thing we didn't talk about, and maybe we can talk about it later, but the first 45% of the show, there was nobody in the stands.
Yes.
It was empty. You had the first few rows were full, and then it was empty past that. I don't care what anybody says. We paused it. We zoomed in. Some people were saying online that the little lights were blocking the people those seats were empty.
So one of two things, either one, nobody was interested in the first couple of matches, and they came out for the stars like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and LA Knight that were in the last match.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, the ushers just said, hey, or the production staff is, hey, these camera shots behind the ring with nobody look terrible. Please, let's move everybody to be on camera.
Yeah, and they've done that before.
Yes.
Right, and everybody does that. If,
got,
there's people up in the way up in the balcony, but there's a bunch of empty seats down here. The show's half over. Let's move those people down so it looks fuller on TV.
Yeah.
But that place was empty.
Yeah, and people can argue what they want, and WWE might come out and say there was more people there than everybody says. This is the first time that I can remember them watching watching a main PLA like this, like a WrestleMania, SummerSlam,
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, they're big events where they don't celebrate it as a sellout and announce how many people were there.
Yeah. I will say in the main event, in the men's Royal Rumble, it did look like it filled in a little bit.
Yeah.
It could have been, like you said, they made everyone come down to kind of fill that up, because even on the wide shots, it looked like it was pretty empty up above.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't feel like this was a great ticket
It wasn't a great
seller for
showing
them.
for
I
Riyadh.
know WWE just gets a bunch of money because they go to Saudi Arabia and they just pay the money for them to be there. So I don't think WWE really cares about that. But the visual appearance, like we were talking, the visual where there's so many empty seats behind, even like in the early matches right behind.
Yeah.
You know, it just looked empty. It just didn't look good.
Leadership, WWE leadership, TKO, whoever, has to figure something out. You cannot have WrestleMania 43 in Riyadh with a half empty stadium.
Yeah.
Like it can't happen.
Especially because even though the next WrestleMania is in Vegas, which I know last year's WrestleMania was in Vegas, but even this one coming up is going to sell out. Both nights are going to sell out. It's going to look packed. It's going to look crazy. And then you go to Saudi Arabia for next year and it's half sold out. It's going to look bad. It's just not going to look right. I don't care how much money they're getting. There's a visual.
It hurts your brand.
Yeah, there's a visual appearance of people who watch it on TV like us, or who go to it, and then they look around and they see all the empty seats. That's a visual thing. A casual viewer might, let me check this out, right?
Yeah.
And they turn it on and they're watching it and they're like, why are all the seats empty? This must just be garbage. And they're going to turn it off.
Yes. If especially WrestleMania is supposed to be their biggest show of the year, they cannot have a single empty seat in the house, whether they have to pay people to come in and sit there, or whatever they got to do.
I mean, they got to fill those seats, because the first 2 or 3 matches tonight, there was only 4. The first 2 or 3, the seats, it looked barren.
Yes.
It looked not good. That was almost a distraction, because I was trying to watch the match, but then I would look up and be like, why are all those seats empty?
Yeah. And then whoever was directing it, why they kept cutting to the wide shots, I don't understand. I get that's what they're used to doing, but you have to change the game when on the fly. Yeah, when it's not working and you're putting bad visuals out there, and you can't. If we're noticing it, you can't tell me Triple H or somebody else sitting in gorilla position.
I just think they're blind to it, right? Because like, I was on SmackDown last night. They said there was like 18,000 people there, but the stadium that they built holds 26,000 people. And then tonight they said there was 26,000 people there.
They said 25,000, 26,000 plus. That was the ring announcer.
Yeah.
Like just one of the announcers, Michael Cole. It wasn't an official announcement.
In that same thing, half the seats behind him were empty.
Yes.
So clearly that wasn't the truth. And we all know, like, WWE has done that before. They'll announce our attendance tonight is 86,000 people. And then the next day the stadium is like, well, we only sold 50,000 tickets. Yeah. So obviously they inflate. But when you can see it that obvious on the screen, it's just not good. It's not a good look.
Not good at all.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Take from that what you will. I don't know. I don't know the answer there. But what else you got, Jeff? That was the end of the pay-per-view. Yeah. I think overall the pay-per-view was the pay-per-view itself, I feel, was a good time. I enjoy the matches.
The pay-per-views got me excited again for the road to WrestleMania.
And this is usually when the storylines start picking up heavy.
It's our favorite time of the year.
Hopefully Triple H doesn't let us down now. But
I'm going to be able to do it.
I kind of have a feeling that TKO is a little more interested in the money, and they don't care a whole lot about the storyline. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for a good Elimination Chamber. It's one of the other great matches of the year.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'd like to see some of the young talent in it. I'd like to see a Trick Williams or an Obafemi in it. Yeah. I'd like to, I think
Obafemi's about to get a major push now.
I'm expected to see Cody Rhodes in it. I'm expecting prediction right now. WrestleMania, we're going to see Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, whether Jacob Fatu's involved or not. And we're going to see Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. So
I think Oba's going to be in there. I really do. I think I think they're
in the
going to
main event picture this early.
Yep. I
Well,
think
we'll
they're
see.
going to get behind him. The Saudi crowd loved him. They were chanting for Oba during the women's match.
I see an Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar match with no belt. Just the
It could be.
that
It could be just two hosses
yes.
just going at it. I'd be for
like
that.
a couple years ago we had Brock Lesnar versus Omos. You know,
Yeah,
something.
I'd
similar
be
to
for that. They need to bring Omos back too, but that's a different story.
Okay.
I like Omos. You didn't like Omos?
Yeah, that's good. I think we'll have some more predictions here in the coming weeks when we see the fallout after Monday Night Raw. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We got Wrestlestop 2.0 coming up very soon. Some of the stuff has started coming in today. There's stuff over there. There's stuff down there. There's stuff over here. You guys can't see it yet because it's a secret. There's actually stuff under the desk.
I can't even see it. He makes me. He puts a hood on me, and he has to walk me out of here. You can't see.
It's all coming. That's why
That's
why our background looks like this. That's why there's a window behind Jeff. That's why there's just a red wall behind me. All that stuff is going away. We are under construction. It's coming. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks for 2.0.
2.0. I'm hoping to launch it either right before Elimination Chamber or on Elimination Chamber. That's kind of my...
Sounds like a plan.
That's my goal right now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, though. A lot of work to do. Other than that, thank you, everybody. We're at 142, 143 subs. I don't know where we're at. I think it's 142.
142,
right?
I think, before we logged in. So
yeah, 142 subs. That's huge for us. We're a smaller channel. We're hoping to become bigger. We want to, compete with some of these other, great channels that are out there. So yeah. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you for all the support you've given us so far. Continue to support. Make sure you guys share this channel to all your friends and relatives and neighbors and things like that. Anything, Jeff?
I just wanted to acknowledge my tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Put the ones up. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys.